Dear Professor Etiquette, if I am anything in your field of endeavour, I am Aristotle, is it? The geezer who didn't write anything down, nor Plato couldn't resist. I don't think it was Plato who did it first, but Plato is my recollection of the philosophy lesson I had in the Unemployed Workers Advice Centre in Brighton by a chap, and his father was one of my, most of my experiences are, well, like I said yesterday, I take positives from negatives, so to say an experience was more or better than another sort of doesn't wash like me much, though it was very enjoyable for the philosophy lesson, for the interaction with his father, who would never ever have encountered a man as knowledgeable and decorish. He showed me this carving made out of one piece of wood that my granddad used to have. This one was a ball inside a sphere or inside a tube, and it was carved out of one piece of wood, and he said that's a representation of whole, in that it's all there, yet it's separate. I said, where's the waste? What? He said, so if it was all there, where's the waste? Which, no, I wasn't saying it to him to be clever, although it could appear so if presented incorrectly. He was taken aback, actually. No, he said that, I don't mean it like that, and he was intelligent and reasonable and realised he had no room for manoeuvre. And I smiled, sort of, not in any other way than like, appreciating what he'd saying to me. And he was actually trying to prove something to me, but only in gentle ways. And I was not so much resisting as saying, okay, I appreciate it, though it isn't all still there. The waste is no longer. What happened to the waste? I need to know to process the data you're trying to input into me. Anyway, it was a three-part. It was an Unemployed Workers Advice Centre that was offering education to its, what would you call them? Not members, attendees. I joined the sewing class there, did some great sewing. I made myself a great coat out of blankets, and he's finishing off, and it's a bit outlandish to wear around these parts. If I was down south in England, I'd have worn it already, but up here, well, and turned my trousers inside out and sewed the pockets on, because once you turn your trousers inside out, there are no etiquette, it's heeZ. There are no pockets anymore. So I joined the sewing club there as well, though this philosophy lesson taught me that, I think it's Aristotle, it might be somebody else, didn't write anything down. And that I understood it as he didn't write anything down because he realised that if he wrote anything down, people would take from it incorrect perceptions and make them, well, it's like that Buddha saying, isn't it? Why did Buddha laugh? Because he knew that if he expounded his illumination, his whatever the word is for Buddhism, they'd make a cult of personality out of him. It's the same as Jesus. If Jesus came back now, all they'd want off him is circus tricks. Go on then, Jesus, do another miracle for us, please. Do us another miracle and we'll forgive ourselves if you just do us another miracle. By the way, we're going to crucify this fucker later, because you've heard what he's saying. He wants us to forgive ourselves. And that's the fucking reality, that, you know, unfortunately. One of many in these parts in the great Western world. Aristotelian. Trying to get the word etiquette up, but I don't know how to spell it properly. I need my text editor. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. I've just been offered a horse-drawn carriage. Upload a video. Upload a video. Use a webcam. Or send for a horse-drawn carriage. And then my text editor's called, get up, get it, get it. It's a thing they say, horses, I think. I'm trying to clean my chest before I dirty it again for today. Etiquette. And I meet many people on my, well, I meet many people who start making fucking stories up, Anthony. I meet many people, and one chap I know, very knowledgeable about belief systems and what have you, and he's inquiring about me actually. He's a pal, I'd say-ish. Don't know him a great deal, but the interaction I've had with it's been enjoyable, and he obviously knows his stuff. I can relate to him, he can relate to me. We both come from the same area, similar backgrounds, similar interests. Though he has children that are grown up, I haven't, that I know of, and he's interacted with them. Anyway, he's asking me about my rationale, and I'm freely giving it because I freely do. And he said, oh, it's very Taoist. So, well, it might sound like Taoist, but it isn't, because I haven't read any Taoism, so I couldn't tell you whether it is or not, but I do know myself, and I do know how these things work, and so I don't doubt it is very Taoist, though it can't be, because I've never read any Taoist propaganda, let's call it, for the sake of having a laugh on a Saturday. It's Saturday, Friday. Although I've learned Sunday having a laugh. You've disarmed me, sir. Well, my interaction with you's disarmed me. I've sort of been disarmed. Where I'd leave witty comments, I now know better. Where I'd say something to be flippantly, arrogantly, something or other. I don't. Although it's very easy to slip back into old ways if one doesn't, in somehow, somewhere, program it into you, input it correctly into the, what would it be? The program, isn't it? The operating system within and as the, whatever, is it the mind? Excuse me. Yeah, so it's Taoist. Oh, that's very Buddhist. Well, I have heard Buddhists saying it though. I didn't get it from him, so it can't be Buddhists. And that, you know, I have a conversation with him and I end up to a point where I have to say, listen, will you stop trying to define me, please? Because you're incorrect in your suppositions, and you're continually trying to define me is unnerving me, in that it's like you want me to fit into your constructed rationalistic version of reality that, well, see, it's Aristotelian thing. Let's say it's Aristotelian, it might not be, it might be some other heeZ as well. Let's just carry on using his name. He wrote it down. It's like, here's another story. The Dutch boy with the finger in his in the dike was a unconvicted mass murderer, though the number of people he saved by putting his finger in the dike was multiplied by 10 to those that he'd killed. Yet after the emergency and they found something to replace his finger in the dike, the people could not forgive him and still insisted on convicting him of his crimes. He only wanted the forgiveness. He accepted his guilt readily. They wouldn't give it. Even though he'd saved 10 times as many as he had killed, they would not forgive him. And he forgave himself. And in that, realised that it is not how others perceive you or label you or reflect their own insecure fears upon you. It is how you see yourself. Another example is, I'd say you can't protest against nuclear power whilst going home putting a light switch on. Just say, I've heard that before. I say, well, I did hear a man say it once, but I can assure you I didn't get it off him. Oh, who was it? Dare I tell you? I don't. I don't, because what I'm working on and with means more to me than embittered, self-serving, justified positions by those who fear themselves in fact, because there is nothing else. I hear. Good morning, sir.